We've got the Honda Civic and the Mazda 3, and they're battling it out in our comparison today.
I'll translate again for Americans. In Canada, it's Mazda. South of the border, it's Mazda. Let's get into it. The Honda Civic just came out and it has two engines. There's the base engine, the 2-liter 4-cylinder matched with a CVT. It has 158 horsepower and 138 pound-feet of torque. There's also a more powerful 1.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder with 180 horsepower and 177 pound-feet of torque. The Civic sedan is front-wheel drive only and automatic only. Still to come is the hatchback, which will be available with a manual transmission, also an SI version and a Type R. We're waiting on all of that news.
The Mazda offers 3 engines on the Mazda 3 sedan and hatchback with a 6-speed automatic transmission. We'll be focusing on the hatchback in our review. The 2-liter 4-cylinder has 155 horsepower, 150 pound-feet of torque, and it's front-wheel drive only. This 2-liter engine is no longer available in the U.S. The 2.5-liter has 186 horsepower, 186 pound-feet of torque, standard front-wheel drive and optional all-wheel drive. A 6-speed manual is standard on both of these engines. And finally, the 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with 250 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque on premium fuel. If you use regular fuel, your horsepower and torque will drop to 227 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. Standard all-wheel drive on the turbo model.
So I think the Civic is at a bit of a disadvantage because all of the models haven't been announced and introduced yet. So what we're kind of focusing on is the base sedan with the optional turbo. Over at Mazda, they have many more engine choices, including all-wheel drive.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that turbo engine is really special. It competes with the luxury brands now with the horsepower and torque. And I think that makes a big difference for driving enthusiasts.
This Honda Civic is a really nice vehicle to drive. The wheelbase is 35 millimeters longer, and the rear track, meaning the wheels side to side, have been pushed out just a little bit. It's very comfortable. The most noticeable thing over the previous model, which we own, is it is a lot quieter. It's agile, quick, and dynamic, whether you're in the city or driving on the highway.
The Mazda 3 offers a comfortable, fun, and sporty drive. With 3 engine options, you'll find one that suits your needs, whether it's for city driving or longer highway trips. It doesn't disappoint. Driving enthusiasts may prefer the turbo engine for its liveliness. It has plenty of power and accelerates quickly. It offers a smoother ride than expected, and it's not as dynamic as a hot hatch. For extra power, use premium fuel instead of regular.
So one major difference, Andrea, with this latest Mazda 3, they introduced a torsion beam rear suspension. It always had independent rear suspension. Why they made this choice was probably because of cost. They ditched it. It does handle really well. However, over at Honda, they still have independent rear suspension. If it was me, even though there are more engine options with the Mazda, the Civic independent rear suspension, for me, wins out.
Okay, fair enough. One thing that I get a lot of people talking about is that the fact Mazda offers all-wheel drive versus front-wheel drive only on the Civic. Now, we've talked about this in the past in our reviews. Yes, of course, if you are in a very snowy climate, treacherous winters, I would agree with you. All-wheel drive is probably a great option. But throw on a set of good winter tires on a front-wheel drive vehicle, and you'll find that you do very well in winter driving conditions. The new Honda Civic sedan in Sonic Gray Pearl features a larger front grille and a bold LED headlight design. Gone are the sharp, angular exterior features. It now offers a simplified, clean, and elegant design. The slimmer taillights and softer lines give the rear a sophisticated look. The Civic body structure is the most rigid in Civic history. The stiffer structure gives the Civic an improved ride, handling, and improvement in noise, vibration, and harshness. The Civic comes standard with 16-inch wheels. 18-inch are available on the top trims. To get a power moonroof, you have to move up to the EX trim, one up from the base model.
Now we're showing you the Mazda 3 hatchback. It's also sold as a Mazda sedan, and they're pretty much the same. There's only some slight packaging differences in the rear seat of the sedan. Now this vehicle has a timeless exterior design with fluid lines and a black gloss grille. It comes standard with body-colored door handles, a chrome tailpipe, LED headlamps, and LED tail lamps. 16-inch wheels, push-button start, and keyless entry. 18-inch wheels are standard on the higher GT trim. One up from the base model with the luxury package for $1,900 will get you the power moonroof. It's standard if you go for the higher GT trim.
I think these two vehicles are so different exterior-wise. I like them both. I think that the simple lines of the Mazda 3 has really held up. But boy, this new Civic, wow, Honda did a great job.
Some people are calling it ugly in the comment section of the video that we did. I disagree with
Of
that.
the Civic?
Of the Civic. But it does kind of remind me of a late 90s Honda Accord. Actually, we owned one of those. And from the front, I can see a little bit of that. I think that they've gone away from the sharp angular look. They're going for a more timeless look, and that's what Mazda has with theirs.
Yeah, for sure. I think those thin LED headlights in the Civic look beautiful. And you know what? I loved our Honda Accord. It looked great, and there was a bit of a bidding war for that one too.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can watch the long, full-length reviews that we did.
Yeah.
The links are below. You know what Andrea does? Every single week, the day before this video drops, she does the exact same comparison on Instagram. Then we get some comments and we read them out.
I'd go with the Mazda 3 GT with the naturally aspirated 2.5. Love the ride, exterior styling, transmission, and interior design materials.
The Civic wins again in my opinion. It has a more sophisticated chassis with independent rear suspension. I also like the exterior and interior proportions better with the Civic. The Mazda has an expensive interior design and finishes which make it feel a tad more luxurious on the inside. Both vehicles are good choices.
Mazda 3, they too have a design that's simple and easy on the eyes, perhaps even more aggressively designed. A premium yet simply laid out interior and the ability to option it out with all-wheel drive.
I think styling and handling performance is definitely Mazda 3. However, the claustrophobic back row of the Mazda, especially the hatch, makes it harder to recommend. Overall, I choose the Civic.
The Honda Civic has a simple and uncluttered interior design, focusing on high-quality materials, especially on touch points. Materials were also chosen for practicality, including the center console, designed to hide smudges and fingerprints. The striking honeycomb mesh accent stretches across the dash from door to door, hiding the air vents and creating an uncluttered design.
Now, the base model Civic comes standard with a 7-inch touchscreen, a 7-inch driver information display, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, plus heated front seats. If you go one up from the base, though, that's the EX trim. It's the best value trim, and for $2,300 Canadian compared to the base model, you get features like a heated steering wheel and dual-zone automatic climate control.
The top touring trim that we're showing you has a lot of extra features, including a 12-speaker Bose Sound system, leather-trimmed seating surfaces, a 9-inch color touchscreen, 10.2-inch digital driver display, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a wireless charger, driver and passenger power seats, and heated rear seats.
The Mazda 3 has a beautiful and elegant interior. The quality of materials used, especially on this top trim, is comparable with luxury brands, making it a near-premium experience. It comes standard with an 8.8-inch display with Mazda Connect, a 7-inch LCD instrument cluster display, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, rear heat ducts, manual driver and passenger seats, and heated cloth front seats.
One up from the base model on the Mazda 3 comes with a heated steering wheel. And if you add the luxury package to this trim, you get leatherette-trimmed upholstery, power driver's seat, and driver's seat memory for $1,900 Canadian. This is standard on the preferred trim in the US. All those features come standard on the GT trim, except you get leather upholstery instead of leatherette and a 12-speaker Bose Sound system. The anniversary trim comes with a few extras like garnet red leather interior, red floor carpet, red floor mats, and headrests with the 100th anniversary badging. The Mazda 3 does not come with power passenger seats or heated rear seats like the Civic.
We're going to get up to the space and the cargo space, especially the back seat and everything, in just a moment. We have another section on that. But overall, the design, they're going for two different looks. So Mazda's trying to make their vehicle look more like a premium brand, and Honda's just gone for a simple, clean design.
There are some things that the Mazda doesn't get that this new updated Honda Civic has, such as wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on the top trim.
Okay, there's a couple of things here. One is Mazda has a control wheel, which does give it sort of that premium car experience. It's similar to, we used to have an older Audi, very similar to the old MMI system. Now, so with Honda, you get the latest communication system touch interface on the screen. The thing is that the Mazda, basically the processing power that's running their system to me seems old, and their infotainment system seems, well, it is old. And I think that's really where you're noticing it. So they have a nice look, but the interaction with the system isn't great.
Yes, and in the past, Mazda offered a touch screen as well as the center console dial. I wish we would go back to that. There are many people who would prefer just a touch screen. I'm fine with offering both, but I think just having the center console dial, there are people who will not buy it for that reason. The Mazda 3 is only slightly longer than the Civic, and they both offer about the same front legroom. In the second row, the Civic offers 2 inches more legroom and ½ an inch more headroom. The Civic also wins in cargo space, offering 34 liters or 1.2 cubic feet more space.
Now, someone touched on it in the comments. The shape of the rear doors in the hatchback of the Mazda 3 is definitely claustrophobic. When you're sitting back there, the back windows are small, and that's where the Honda wins.
Now, the Mazda 3 sedan does offer a little bit more headroom and legroom than the Mazda 3 Sport, but the Civic still wins overall with both.
Let's start with pricing. The Civic does have a high starting price. They don't offer an inexpensive base model anymore. It starts at LX in Canada, which is $24,500. And the top touring trim that we're showing you here is just over $30,000. JD Power gives the Honda Civic an overall score of 80 out of 100, and quality and reliability 76 out of 100. Where it shines is in resale value. CarEdge states the Civic will retain 63% of its value after 5 years.
Here's the fuel economy. The 2-liter 4-cylinder engine gets 7.7 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 6 liters on the highway. That's 31 miles per gallon city, 40 miles per gallon highway. The 1.5-liter turbo gets 7.6 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 6.1 on the highway. That's 31 miles per gallon city, 38 miles per gallon highway. Honda offers a warranty of 3 years or 60,000 kilometers, 36,000 miles. Here's the pricing on the Mazda 3 Sport. The GX manual starts at $21,600 and the GX automatic all-wheel drive is $23,350. The top GT Turbo is $34,450. JD Power gives the Mazda 3 an overall score of 78 out of 100 and a quality and reliability score of 74 out of 100. CarEdge states the Mazda 3 will retain 57% of its value after 5 years.
So here's the fuel economy. 3 different engines. The 2-liter front-wheel drive only is 8.6 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 6.7 on the highway. That's 28 miles per gallon city, 36 miles per gallon on the highway. The larger 2.5-liter with all-wheel drive is 9.5 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and 7.4 on the highway. That's 25 miles per gallon city, 33 miles per gallon highway. Interestingly, the 2.5-liter turbo gets very close mileage. It's 10 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.5 on the highway. That works out to 23 miles per gallon city and 32 miles per gallon highway.
Mazda offers a warranty of 3 years with unlimited kilometers in Canada, 3 years or 36,000 miles in the U.S.
Now, one big deal also, Andrea, for a lot of people is the fact that the Mazda comes with a 6-speed automatic transmission, a conventional automatic transmission. Over at Honda, if you want an automatic, it's CVT. Some people just will not consider it because it has a CVT. We have one. We have the previous gen. It's fine.
Yeah, Honda makes a good CVT. I wouldn't worry too much about that. There is some issues with the 1.5-liter turbo engine on the Civic with oil dilution. But I would say overall, it's a very good product, and I enjoyed the driving dynamics of that turbo engine. The fact that Mazda has a 6-speed automatic transmission, all-wheel drive, some people turbo, some people might just say, you know what, that's the best option for me. I think the downfall with the Mazda 3, especially the Sport, is the second row space.
Yep.
The Civic offers more. If you're taking passengers, if you are trying to put car seats back there, the Civic might be a better choice for you.
These are both excellent cars. They're very good products, and I'd be happy to have either one of them.
Me too.
I think just for me, I think right now at this moment in time, if you said which one are you going to choose just to drive around the city every day, it would be the Civic. If it was, you know, driving in the country in the winter, it would be the Mazda.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that turbo engine on the Mazda. It doesn't matter what model it comes in, it is fantastic.
All right, I think we are done. Don't forget, if you want to get a comment in and see the same comparison go down live on Instagram, you can follow Andrea. It's Motormouth_Andrea.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We put out 5 videos a week. Every Tuesday, it's a comparison.
So we'll see you next week.